I just want to compliment law enforcement for having done an incredible job. The FBI, Secret Service, so many. I mean, they just got together and did a fantastic job, like finding a needle in a haystack. So I want to congratulate them. As you know, I think everybody wants to congratulate them. But they did a fantastic job. I'm going to North Carolina right now. It's raining, so if you don't mind, I'll step out of the rain. But we're very proud of law enforcement. I did not. I did not see my face on the van. I don't know. I heard he was a person that preferred me over others, but I did not see that.
Does that bother you at all?
No, not at all. No, I mean, not at all. No, that there's no blame. There's no anything. If you look at what happened to Steve Scalise, that was from a supporter of a different party. You look at what happened on numerous of these incidents, they were supporters of others. No, I'm just really proud of law enforcement. I think they did an incredible job. And I will see you in North Carolina. No, I don't think so. I think that we're running a great campaign. People love what we're doing. They love what we're saying. The Republicans had tremendous momentum. And then, of course, this happened where all that you people talked about was that, and rightfully so. It was a big thing, rightfully so. But now we have to start the momentum again. I think the Republicans have tremendous momentum when you think of Judge Kavanaugh, when you think of all the things that have happened. And hopefully we're going to go on to a great victory. We have a lot of Senate races where we're leading, races that frankly were going to be uncontested. It looks like we're leading a lot of those races. The House is, there are a lot of people in the House, so we're going to see how that goes. But I think we're doing very well in the House. If they wanted me to, but I think we'll probably pass. Thank you very much. Well, I think I've been toned down. You want to know the truth? I could really tone it up because, as you know, the media has been extremely unfair to me and to the Republican Party. I think the media has been very, very unfair in terms of the Republican Party and the way it's been covered. And they understand that. They write articles about that. Many of them admit that. But the media has been unbelievably unfair to Republicans, conservatives, and certainly to me. But with all of that being said, we're winning. So I like that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about this with our panel. Amanda Carpenter, you heard the president yet again, an opportunity to take some ownership for the rhetoric and passing on the opportunity.
I no longer care what he has to say about this. I think after all these incidents, we always ask, was the perpetrator mentally ill or what happened? I think in this scenario, we need to ask, was he just unstable enough to believe the things that the president says and then act on it? Because if that's the case, if you believe the press is the enemy of the people, Hillary Clinton is evil, and there's a deep state undermining the country, pipe bombs become your weapon of choice rather than words. And so he's on his way to another rally. And I want Republicans to ask themselves, if you're in that crowd and you see a sign like that, targets, is this the atmosphere that makes America great again? Because I think it clearly has made us less safe.
And you heard a Secret Service agent was on the show earlier talking about when you cover these rallies, how seriously people in the audience, many of them, take the words coming from the politician. It's such a powerful position. You can inspire, you can stoke fear, you can do anything really if there's that much adulation.
Exactly. I was actually on the president's campaign swing throughout the western states over the weekend, and there's always that moment in the rallies where he turns to us sitting in the back, taking notes, and says, look at the fake news media back there, and the entire crowd just boos at you. I mean, this is a crowd that adores Trump, listens to what he says. So the president's words really do matter, and it'll be really interesting to see how he approaches that rhetoric in Charlotte later tonight.
Weird statement by the president. I mean, he started off, as he often does, with something that sounded prepared, right? Something we don't often hear the president say, praising the FBI. What he didn't include in that sort of prepared section was a further condemnation, now that we have a suspect, a condemnation of the suspect of the alleged acts and what happens next. Look at his statement compared to the law enforcement officials that spoke earlier in the day. And then as the conversation continues with the press, what does he do? He sort of circles to his real target, which is unfortunately the news media, right? So by the end of that gaggle, he was right back to the media needs to take more responsibility. And look, I don't think nobody's responsible for sending bombs except the person who sent the bombs, right? Mm-hmm. But he just will not get it wrapped around his head that his rhetoric can help create an atmosphere where someone thinks it's okay.
It was interesting. He spoke earlier today. He condemned it, didn't mention CNN or the individuals who had been sent the devices. And then in that same event, after he called for unity, somebody yelled out, CNN sucks. He was talking about polls, CNN sucks. And then he talked about globalists. Somebody yelled out George Soros. Somebody said lock him up. There's allusions to 3 of the people that were sent bombs.
Right. Yeah. Well, he brings up trying to compare this to the congressional shooting, and it's not the same thing. And the reason it's not the same thing is that this was just a who's list of enemies of Donald Trump. So this is where this person got these ideas. I'm sorry. There's no other person that is obsessed with hating CNN than Donald Trump. Like pre-Donald Trump, that just wasn't a thing. I guess people had feelings about CNN, but it wasn't an obsession. And so that this person was so focused on CNN and so focused on all the people that he complains about does make him complicit. And he needs to own that, and he needs to, to tone down the rhetoric.
You think he's complicit, though?
Yes.
Because that's a strong thing to say. And Clapper and Mudd, who were threatened by this person. But you're, okay, you're standing by that. Thank you so much.